My team's ready. Oh, ready. Okay. It's just us tonight.
I'll go ahead and open up the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting, February 22nd at 5 p.m. Could we please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll start off this evening with roll call, please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets,
Here.
Greg Miller,
Present.
Megan Sheets is absent.
Yes. Next on the agenda are the minutes from the February 8th, 2021 regular meeting.
Make a motion that we accept the minutes from February 8th.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Next on the agenda is approval of claims.
I'll make a motion that we approve the claims as presented.
I'll second that.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Were there any public comments? Okay. Next, under our department reports, we have our attorney, and we have some resolutions that need to be passed tonight. We'll start out with Resolution 21-01. And Carol, do you want to read the title to that?
Resolution number 21-01, a resolution authorizing the special purchase of hydraulic extrication package.
Okay, I think this was discussed at the last meeting that the fire department would like to purchase this equipment.
Yes.
The cost of that, it's in the back of the, it's 30,000, isn't it? 30,220. $30,220.
Yeah, remember this bill's for the month of February.
Okay, okay. So once we approve it tonight, then you can go ahead and get that price.
Okay.
Derek, do you have any questions?
Now, this is the same proposal that we saw before, right, John?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just since it was one vendor under the purchasing policy of the city, we had to have a special resolution to be able to do that. So Les drew that up for us.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 21-01 for a special purchase of extrication package.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Next up on the agenda is Resolution 21-02. You have that. So you can read that for us.
resolution number 21-02, resolution authorizing transfer of fire truck to the city of Frankfort, Indiana.
Okay, Center Township is going to transfer
The old engine two.
the old engine 2 to the city of Frankfort. So we as the Board of Works have to pass a resolution to approve this transfer, along with Center Township will also pass a resolution that they are going to give that to us. Les, is there anything else we need to know about that?
No, that's correct, Mayor, and the Center Township's resolution is enclosed in the packet as well. I think your resolution number is 2103, so they're virtually identical, reciprocal resolutions.
Okay. Greg, did you have any questions for this?
I don't think so.
I'll make the motion to pass resolution 21-02 for the transfer of the fire truck from Center Township to the city of Frankfort.
A second.
Roll call, Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Motion passes. So, John, John, I don't know what you have to do as far as title work, insurance, anything like that.
We carry the insurance, we just have to do the title work
Okay,
to it, just transfer it over to the city of Frankfort.
okay,
And their resolution got to be signed by their board and the trustee. And then I will get a copy of ours and take it to her tomorrow and see if they've got their sign in it. And I'll bring that copy to
okay.
Daryl, then we will work on the rest.
Okay, and then when you get that title, then work with Carol on getting that transferred.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is the. This is the news. Okay, we have listed resolution 21-03, but that actually is the Center Township Trustees resolution, so we will not take any action on it. The next on the agenda is resolution 21-04. And do you have that with you there, Carol?
Yes. Resolution number 21-04, a resolution directing the sale of real estate.
And this is the old billing office at 16 North Main Street, and we are gonna put it out for bid. We have had the 2 appraisals done that we need to have done, and I believe it's $60,000. That will be the minimum bid on that building. Les, did you have information for us on that?
Yes, so that's correct, Mayor. The resolution does establish that as a minimum bid. And I believe if you look at paragraph 2 on page 2 of the resolution, the last sentence, the form of notice and invitation for bids attached to this resolution is approved. I didn't see it attached in the packet, so I just passed out copies.
Okay,
So that would be published February 27th and March 6th in the Times.
okay,
And of course, I don't have to go electronically over there. And there's sufficient time to do that. It can also be mailed to anyone who has expressed an interest in purchasing the property, so that they're aware of the timeline
okay,
and the terms and conditions. And then there is also a bid form that the notice references that I have prepared. And you have copies of the bid form.
oh, okay,
And those would be available at the clerk treasurer's office to pick up. And these are open bids.
that's what I was gonna ask you.
And so people can come in and see what they are and, submit a new or higher bid, kind of like.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Can they, let's say somebody comes in one day, they put in the amount, somebody comes in the next day and raises that, can that just keep going back and forth, clerk, until the 22nd?
Yes, it can.
Okay. And Carol, I do have a couple of people that I think are interested as well, so,
Yeah, be sure and, let's be sure and get them a notice.
okay.
That building would have a lot of good uses for a lot of different people.
I think it's a beautiful building. I love the pillars out
Just
front.
needs to be power wash, wherever they do in front, cleaned up. And it had back in the old days, a real nice basement. Franklin
Yes.
Moses worked out of there, city engineer, as a bone barn.
I think in the recent years, it's been used for storage, and I think civil defense used it at one point, so.
Does this offer less, is this the point, or is there a point that we can protect the interest of the city as well, maybe in that building, or?
And that's something we can certainly discuss. We do have the option to put any conditions on this that you like, but I think if we're going to do that, it needs to probably be in the notice. The other thing is the statute, and we've done this before, we did it when we sold the little building down there by Prairie Creek, it's now a guitar violin. You can invite the offerors to propose what they're going to do with the building and condition it on that, go back and forth. So I'm glad you brought that up, Greg, because I wanted to mention that. So what we've submitted here is just a standard notice and invitation to bids. And the way I've drafted it so far, it would go to the highest, best bidder regardless of use. Now, if you want to condition it on use, we can do that.
Just wondering for the, that we don't lose that building or.
The other thing that I did not include is I didn't put in the notice that it has to be a cash purchase. So the way it's structured right now, a potential purchaser could submit a bid and, say, well, but it's subject to my obtaining mortgage. So I can put in here there has to be a cash purchase and won't be subject to mortgage.
So
The problem we run into is if it is, and then the mortgage financing falls through, we have to go through the whole process.
So we would not necessarily have to accept high bid if we put in that condition what they're gonna use the facility for.
I think that's correct.
Okay. I almost think we would want to do that, don't you? I almost think maybe that should be in that bid,
Okay.
put that condition in there.
Yeah. I probably should have prepared this in alternate forms, but I
That's okay.
didn't have time. I didn't know what my mind was going. So you want to wait till the next meeting?
Could we go ahead and approve the resolution with those amendments to the invitation permits?
Yeah, let's see.
I'd like to get it out there. We have people that have been interested in it for a while. I just was thinking I'd like to get it out.
All right, let me look and see what we can do here. But we have to change the bid form to what else is on the agenda here? Is there anything else you're going to be considering on the agenda that you might want to address while I'm working on this?
Yeah. We can move on and then we'll go back to resolution 21-04.
Okay.
Under unfinished business, I don't have anything. Do you have any, Carol or Greg, tonight? Yeah. Under new business, we have sent out the maintenance for the fountain in front of Old Stony. We got a quote from them probably in the last week or so. I'm not sure exactly how we want to handle that. It was a little bit more than I expected. I'm thinking probably you as well. Right, Greg?
Yes.
It's $4,000. I know it's in $340. Now, I don't know if there's any other people that do that type of work or what exactly we want to do on that. I mean, we can always just table this and then come back to it. We're not going to fill that probably in the next few months anyway. Do you want to do that? Okay. I'll make that motion that we go ahead and table this quote from Smock Vansler for the fountain in front of Old Stony until we can get further information on it.
And I'll second that.
Roll call, please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Oh, yeah, we have that.
That's good. He has to log in too, so he has to do that too, so I guess
Okay, so on the next agenda, if you just put that on there, that's table, we'll readdress that. I don't know exactly if we'll be ready to take action on it or not. Also, we had a quote from Apex. We have decided to go ahead and add another part of this system where people can get buzzed into Old Stony. We have a camera system. They can buzz into each office. Veterans Affairs was not included the first time around. They have asked to. So Apex has quoted us $1,559 to add that onto our system. What was that number? $1,559. Thank you. Barry, do you have any questions on that?
I think, the only question I and it appeared in the quote that he was adding a completely separate box that had 6 additional, the price was quoted on the 6 additional. I think I'd like to talk to him and see if that's correct or not.
Yeah. The one down by the elevator already is a 6-button one, but the one that level was 5. And he said that, you know, to do that, we have to get a 6 box. So I mean, if you want to
Yeah, that was only just about the reasoning for that. But
yeah, he said it would have to be a 6 button box.
Yeah.
He didn't have like to add on just one. So, but anyway, he said the elevator already had that 6 button, and had we realized that, we could have done it.
I just didn't understand that.
Yeah.
That quote, but yeah,
Are you okay with it?
yes, I would have said that. Yes.
Okay. We'll just do by consensus. Okay. We'll go ahead and approve that, changing of that, Stony. We thought at first it wasn't gonna take that much effort to get everybody over into the Veterans Affairs, but comes to find out there's a lot of people that go in and out of the building for them, as well as use the elevator. So I just think it's gonna be more convenient for the citizens as they come to use the building.
Thank you to the Board of Works for getting that system for us. It's working out very well, and it's very helpful to my office. And safer in other ways.
And we haven't had any complaints, have we? I haven't heard
Not
anybody.
one.
You know, everybody just comes up, uses the button, we're fine, so.
Everybody caught on very quickly.
The other thing on that bid sheet, as you saw, was if we had add additional cameras or whatever, but when we first did that, we talked about leaving that front door unlocked. But now we're locking it every night, so I think we'll be fine. Is Bart on there? And Jason, do either one of them, Bart or Jason, do you have anything for us?
I do not have anything more what you part.
That was Bart. He said no, he does not have anything.
Okay,
Looks like Jason's muted. Jason, do you have anything for the Board of Works?
okay. And then we have our planning session on Wednesday at 10 o'clock, just as a reminder to the department heads.
Oh, you guys need me as Jason, sorry.
We're just asking if you had anything to present tonight, or if you had anything to offer to the Board of Works.
No, I think I'm good. Just watching everybody, watching lead. Put on the show tonight. So we're good.
Hey, Jason, thank you to you and to all the employees of the street department for a job well done. They did a
They're
great
all-
job.
I did, you know, while you did touch on that, I would tell you guys that everything went pretty well mechanically wise for us. We had an issue with our gator late in the week, but other than that, everything held up pretty well. We had a salt spreader go down and we got it back up and running once we got parts from a business here in town. So everything went pretty well. Like I said, it was a busy Monday night and Tuesday morning and Tuesday during the day, but so the guys stepped up, did a great job. I appreciate it. Had a lot of good compliments from people that I heard about, and that's always good. It makes them feel a lot better out here too. So everything went pretty well.
Good. And we appreciate them so much. They did an awesome job. There was a lot of snow that we got in a short period of time.
Yeah, it came down. I think it's probably the hardest I've seen it snow here in quite a long time here, all at once in a short period of time like that. So,
Yes.
yeah, everything went great downtown. We got a lot of help from utilities, removing the snow downtown, which was great. I was able to keep our trucks on the road plowing snow like they should be. So kudos to them. It's good to have a good working relationship with the waterworks and the sewer department, but all the utilities it was great to have them around, and like I said, everything went pretty well. I think everybody adhered to the red once it went to red around 7:30 that night, and we were able to keep the main roads open, and then really worked hard on Tuesday during the day and afternoon on your side roads. So I don't think we could ask for anything better.
Right, exactly. And like you said, we thank the utilities as well. They were very helpful in the downtown area. And the police department, I know they did a lot of extra work for us. But also I want you to pass on to your employees how much we appreciate them and to thank them.
We will do that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Jason, are you still in there?
Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I was just gonna check with you, and I can just do that now. Just driving around town, I just didn't know if you guys noticed the same as I did. A lot of parked vehicles that weren't moved and equipment that you guys had to try to sashay around to get the streets cleaned up. Did you notice that it seemed like there was an abundance of cars left on the streets?
Yeah, definitely, Greg. Yeah, I think that's something we've dealt with, and it seemed more this time. I don't know if that's because of the size of the storm or when the storm came in. The next morning, I saw a lot. I spoke with Scott about a couple different vehicles that we had, one on East Jefferson Street. Actually, both of them were on East Jefferson, one near the dead end. Just something that didn't look like they'd been moved for quite some time, Greg. And Chief Shoemaker was nice enough to come down and either tag those vehicles. One of the things we ran into a lot, some of your, I guess the streets that aren't so wide or your smaller city streets, is they were parking, if you're parking on both sides of those streets, they were parking right across from one another. And this particular one on East Jefferson, it was me driving. I couldn't even go between the vehicles and plow that particular street with them parking right across from each other, like dead even with each other. So Scott was able to help me out with that, and I'm sure there was, I noticed a lot more than just those two, but those are two that come to mind. And, have been sitting, Mike had went down to one on the dead end East Jefferson Street there by the cemetery. The particular car I called Scott on there had been sitting there for probably 5 or 6 months and had been moved.
Yeah.
So I think I was going to try to tag that and help out there. So yeah, I think it was a combination of vehicles that may not be able to be moved, that we see and we don't really recognize it until the snow comes, or it was just more there just because of the storm. I was on the radio I guess the Thursday before, and I always speak about this quite a bit when I'm on with Rilo about, if you have a place to park in your driveway or in your garage, especially with things like this coming up, do that for us. I think I did get some emails from some people that did do that and were a little concerned about us not being able to get in the alleys and get them out. But there were people that adhered to that advice, but for the most part, I think we got a lot of people that park outside in front of their house, and that's, obviously a snowstorm, that causes a difficult problem for us.
Yeah, it just seems kind of like a twofold problem. It seems like the original, from the storm, you can still see cars that have snow piled on them from the original storm, and then since you weren't able to get to the curbs, the cars are having to park out closer to the center of the street now, so a lot of the side streets are down to one lane through.
Yeah.
I was just curious if you had seen something.
Yeah, it's kind of that way every time. Obviously, I think more this time is probably why you've seen recognize that.
Yeah.
I did contact, I'm always trying to contact other street departments to see if they have some ideas. I did contact Ben Anderson over in West Lafayette, and we were talking about alleys and things like that. And he has alleys, but 95% of his alleys are asphalt alleys, where all of ours are stone.
Right.
We may have one that's asphalt. And we have more than he has over there as well. So, I've talked to Lebanon in the past where a lot of times they don't even worry about their side streets. They don't have they don't have as many employees as I have, but their side streets don't get taken care of as much as what we do here in our city. And they, obviously, if they're not getting the side streets, they're definitely not worried about their alleys. So it is a difficult time. And like I said, I tried to, we got a couple of really nice emails from people, and some of the people we were able to help out, great, because we had to get into those alleys just to pick up trash.
Right.
On those days after the storm. So, I think I did get some emails back saying thank you, but I did reiterate it. It wasn't because we wanted to get you out necessarily. I'm glad you were able to, but we had to get into those. We had to take a loader in front of all of our trash trucks, and I think people understood. I think they were kind of bummed, disappointed at the same time, but I think that most people do understand what's going on.
Yep. I think you guys did a great job to get things cleaned up as quickly as you did.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because you say that. I don't know if you've been down Jackson Street, but even on Jackson Street, where the state files, there's still a lot of snow standing still there, just like it is on our side streets.
Yeah.
It's obviously just because of the residential area there, especially on south North Jackson Road.
Right.
But no, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Les, are you ready then?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
The resolution can stay as it is, but the notice that is attached to it for approval, I have modified. And I will just read in my proposed changes. And on that first page of the notice, third paragraph from the bottom, last sentence says the city has established a minimum bid in the amount of $60,000. I would propose to add to that paragraph, the sale will be for cash and will not be subject to purchaser obtaining financing. Bidders will be required to specify their intended use of the property and the improvements to be made, and the city will take those items into consideration in awarding the bid to the bidder offering the best use of the property in conjunction with the bid amount. And then the only other change would be on the second page. The last sentence that begins, the city of Frankfort may sell the real estate. Said the highest and best bidder, I would strike highest and best bidder and insert to the bidder offering the most attractive use and most responsive bid.
Okay. I think that sounds better, yeah.
Okay,
I knew it. Yeah.
so we'll do that, and then I've changed the bid form. And the first paragraph there says, the undersigned hereby submits bid in the sum of blank dollars purchase price for real estate, blah, blah. I would add to that, the undersigned has attached here to his or her intended use of the property, improvements to be made, and timeline completion. And then I would add to the end of the second paragraph of the bid form. It goes, and that purchaser will be required to execute a written purchase agreement. I would add to that, which may require completion of the bidder's intended use and improvements.
I think that sounds good.
So what we would need is a motion to approve the resolution with the notice and invitation for bids and bid form as revised.
motion that we approve resolution 21-04, directing the sale of the real estate. Also to include the notice of invitation for bids as revised.
Okay, those two.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Okay, thank you, sorry you had to talk.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, thank you. I just think that might be a better way to do it.
Yeah.
And that way we can get it out as well. We've had a lot of interest in it, so I'm anxious to get it out for bid. Next, we have on the agenda the bids for Old Stony landscaping.
And I have those, Mayor, and we only have one.
Okay.
It is submitted by Hardesty Landscaping here in Frankfort. Dear Mayor, Sheets and Board of Works, it's been our pleasure to perform landscape installation and maintenance of Old Stony since 2012, but actually this year's budget, which is the same as 2020. At the bottom of the quote, I recommend a payment schedule which is similar to that of previous years. I am amenable to other options. Again, thank you for allowing us to care for Old Stony property in the past. Look forward to many years to come. There's an addendum that says Hardesty Landscaping completed the design, installation, and maintenance of the triangle bed across from TPA Park tennis courts for the past plus or minus 15 years. This was done at no cost to the city, as was agreed upon during the mayor's Stony administration. And I've continued on with that. Number two, Hardesty Landscaping designed the landscape of the new city Frankfort entry signs over the past 4 years. No cost were paid for the installation and continue to monthly maintain these sites and invoice them 1 to 2 times per year. So the third page is the quote 2021 season-long landscape and lawn maintenance package. And it details the labor and equipment and materials to, well, I might as well go through them. It's not very lengthy. Season-long mowing, season-long trimming, weeding, bed care, edge and mulch planting beds, apply herbicide fertilizer, install 50 annual flowers, 1 gallon pots in spring, remove annual flowers and install 50 fall flowers, bi-weekly site visits to weed trim, etc., fall bed cleanup, irrigation startup and shutdown, repairs billed separately, season-long fertilization, herbicide, and drug control for lawn. Payment options below are the payment arrangements that were established for the past 8 years. I'm open to other options. First installment, $2,500, invoice March 15, paid by March 31. 9 monthly invoices sent March 31 through November 31 at $402.22. The total will be $6,120. Hardesty Landscape for Hardesty Group.
Jeff's with us this evening. Questions for us? I think you do a really good job down at Old Stony keeping it up. It's important. The citizens are the first to notice if there's something not in order, lawn's not mowed, the grass is going good, but we appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, and I think this year was the only time I've ever taken a call from you or anybody there about an issue. And it was an employee, the employee made a judgment call not to mow for a couple weeks in a row. And so I exercised my option not to hire him for a week or two or the rest of the year too. So, but other than that, things went really well, I believe.
And we appreciate you donating your time and efforts on the triangle, as you said, out at TPA Park.
I would like to remind the Board of Works, there is still a city entry sign, the industrial one. It is stored out of the street department. It is supposed to go out in the industrial park area someplace. It just never has been, the location's never been. I just hate for that sign just to sit there and be forgotten, so.
We need to check into that to see, we'll check with Jason and see, is it just the sign, do you know, Annie, or?
Yeah, it's the last one of
It's
the
the
4
bigger,
entryway
okay.
signs. Mhm.
So in the past, I think you helped install the other ones, correct? And then did the landscaping around it.
Yes, and really, we just need to, I think the thing that, your predecessor, Mayor McBarnes, had difficulties, a stumbling block was trying to find a place in the industrial park that was visible because it's much more massive out there than it is to the other 3 entries. It was rather easy just to plop here, there, and there. Out there it's more massive, and trying to find someplace close to the or to the 4 lane so it's visible, that's tricky. So,
We'll do some checking on that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
sure.
I appreciate that. Greg, would you want to make an approval on this tonight, table it, or what would be your preference?
As Megan said,
Did Megan get this? She got these right.
Not
No, not the bids. She
Not
would
the
not have
bids. She would not have seen the bids because they
But
just.
she knew we were gonna bring them. And so,
yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the maintenance contract for, Old Stony for the 2021 season.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Craig Miller.
Thank you, Jeff.
Sure.
Another year.
Very good.
Hey, I do have a question for you though.
Yeah.
On the fountain out there, do you ever do anything with that? No.
No.
Do you know anything about that? I mean, like I said, we have one quote on that.
Down at Old Stony,
Yes.
The one that was moved there
yeah,
from the
it's
farm.
been winterized, I hope, hasn't it?
I think that's what that company does as part of what they do.
Yeah. Jim Sigford is the one that usually watched over that and may still be doing so, I don't know.
He was the one, we
Might
actually,
be worth a call to Jim and make sure all that is continued somehow.
we actually got a bid from, what did we say, 4,000?
$340, $43.40.
$4,340 for maintenance on their end of it. I'm sure which would be winterizing it, getting it started,
That's from the company that had been doing it?
Yes.
Is that what we had been paying?
And then Carrie did some monthly, I believe it said there what our responsibilities are.
Yes.
I just didn't know if there's anybody else that did that, locally or.
Well, I don't know of anybody. I can make a phone call. There's a company I work with that we do, fountains and things like that, small water garden fountains, things like that, to see if they have any ideas.
Okay.
I
If
can
you
make
would
that
do
call,
that, I'd
check it
appreciate
out.
it.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, it's never hurts to have somebody else with us a quota.
And there is a provision here, Les, that says that they'll evacuate water from all piping and use hardly antifreeze as necessary, so that should have been under last year's proposal, hopefully, so.
It does seem like quite a bit of.
Yes,
It does.
Once a year, I suppose. But,
Yeah.
well, they gotta come in twice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then we maintain it, I think, on the monthly, so.
I think we can probably look at other options too available for you.
Yeah.
Okay, did anyone have anything else?
As an addendum to our quote, I do this with a lot of commercial accounts, so you don't have to do the bidding process over and over every year. If you would enter into once you enter into a 3 or a 5 year contract, like I'll hold the price steady, if you would like to do that. Something to talk about amongst yourselves, I guess.
Okay,
I entertain, we do several multi-year contracts because it just makes life easier for everybody. So,
okay, thank you. We'll take that under advisement.
Okay.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
We'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. Thank you, everyone, for coming out.
I-
Yeah.